T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. We're about to be reviewing Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures Hot Rod, or Autobot Hot Rod. Disclaimer up front, I know this may be a character from a show aimed towards kids ages 6 to 9, but my channel is for adult collectors because I'm an adult. That's what I made my channel for, so I'm not advertising for children under 13. It's mostly for people my age and parents that want to help their kids learn how to transform these things or help other fans and whatnot. I haven't seen every episode of this show, but why did they change the name to Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures, besides the fact that the Bumblebee movie was successful? That kind of sucks because saying all these subtitles is freaking annoying. One thing that's cool about this action figure is for it to be from a show that's aimed towards younger people for the most part, they actually made him a little bit more sophisticated than they have been doing, where the toys don't have any articulation and they're friggin' annoying to me as an adult collector. But to get the biggest elephant out of the room, they barely painted him. Over here is what he's supposed to look like from the show, and this thing is practically unpainted. It's like they expect toy hacks to come out with a bunch of stickers for this guy, because he is just mostly orangey red and boom, that's it. They didn't paint his spoiler yellow or anything, and you'll see in vehicle mode this becomes a spoiler. They didn't paint that. There's just a ton of paint, and they even cheaped out down here, and they didn't paint the inside of his leg. Like, for them to make half of the thigh orange and leave that's terrible. But what's really frustrating about that is it's a good figure besides the fact that it's not painted or looked the way it's supposed to look. What that does and why I'm complaining is it washes out certain details. Like, he has details on his body, but you can't see them for the most part because he's so red. Like, you wouldn't even notice some of this unless you have it right up in front of you, like I'm doing right now. He does have a stand for it. But, as you can see, his face looks like the IW Comics version of Hot Rod. Articulation, his head actually has a screw. That's something they've gotten away from on the bigger or the more adult line Transformers, like Transformers Generations, War for Cybertron trilogy stuff. And they didn't cut out the back of his neck, so it's tight on that ball joint, and it's very hard to get him to turn left and right beyond this point because he can't really look up. So they sculpted that plastic all the way down. I might mess around with that. When you get him in package, his shoulders are up here and the joint is super tight. It feels like it won't move, but just push it down, and now that gives him the ability to go out that far. Hot Rod shoulder syndrome. He can't go out at all at this angle. So if you want him to aim towards this way, you can bend his shoulder like that, and now he can aim over here like that. He does have double jointed elbows. Like, they didn't even necessarily need this for transformation, they just added that, so that is freaking awesome. And he still has a ball joint here, so you get all that range and motion right there. And they didn't need to do this, but they gave him wrist rotation. Why I say they don't need to do this? Because he doesn't have any swords or anything. And you have this all blocking. Now in the show, he does have these pipes coming past his fist. But to keep the transformation simplified, they kept this panel. They could have made that flip in and then flip up against the arm. But then it might have been looking ugly right there. And they probably wouldn't have added a tab to keep it locked. The waist bends this much while you have this backpack locked in, but you can turn it all the way around, to be honest. The legs on the ball joint, they can kick all the way in every direction. Thigh rotation, knee bends 90 degrees. Like, that's another thing. If they would have sculpted this different, he could have actually bent the knee more than that. But I'm kind of interested in cutting that up, but then you'll probably see the hollowness inside. And then the feet. I can't believe the feet. They're not on the ball joint. They hinge forward, hinge back, and he has ankle pivot. So these are the best feet out of any of them. I believe the rest of them are on ball joints. I'm going to bring them out later. Comparisons are going to be at the end from now on, so I can just get these things done. The accessories, he does come with these flame effects. They have clips right there, and you're supposed to groove them into this area, so now it looks like he's shooting fire. Keeping it grooved, well, you got to get them in the specific sweet spot, to be honest. The blocks are like all the way in the front. I didn't have that on there right. So here we are. And then it has these connector ports like the Siege figures or War for Cybertron figures. So he can technically hold them as like blade weapons, but they look goofy and the peg isn't all that long. Transformation. Let's go ahead and bring this away from there. And we can go ahead and rotate this, push it down a little bit, and then shove this down and shove that on top of it. These are flimsy and popped off, so let you see the detail on it. This was in its packaging very tight, so when I pulled it out, they popped off of that clip, and I had no idea how to put them on right, but this is the orientation they're supposed to be in if they pop off. And it even has a BL and BR right there. Alright, now we can go ahead and push the feet up like that. And you don't have to do this, but I'm gonna rotate the head around so that it's not very visible in robot and vehicle mode. Lift the shoulders up to this point and have the arms like that. Now we can make sure this front of the car stays straight. You can wrap that under there like that. Push this down, clip the feet together, and kind of shove this over top of that notch right there, which tabs everything into place. And now he is a cartoony, futuristic brick car. And once again, mostly red. On the box, they did put some yellow paint right there, but that's gone. I'm gonna have to dig up an image of his car mode if I can, because typically hot rods always have a flame effect right there, because the chest is technically supposed to be the front of the vehicle, and this does not have that at all. But it still becomes a solid vehicle. The only thing that I don't like is, if you really pay attention to the wheels, you notice that they aren't fully painted and his feet are just hanging out back there. So yeah, if they maybe painted this yellow, painted the bottom of his feet yellow, you might not notice all that. But rolls, and you still have access to these flame effects, but you would use them in reverse, and as you can see, don't squeeze it too much or it will pop apart. But now he has this action, and I keep doing it. Don't squeeze in this area, and that's unfortunate because that's where you have to put the fire effect. I guess grab down here, put part of your fingertips under there, and make sure that it's connected. There we go. But now here he is with flames, and it does seem to be making the wheel. Or am I imagining things? Something is lifted. Yeah, it rolls decently. Here he is next to my Transformers Siege Red Alert. Pretty much the same length, same height in car mode, but of course this feels way more substantial. It is definitely way more substantial. Like, I know this comes with these blast effects and a Build-A-Figure part, but the quality of the plastic and whatnot is it feels downgraded compared to this, to be honest. Here he is up against his buddy Bumblebee. Pretty much the same size. Bumblebee feels a little bit better because his body is more compact inside of here. Things aren't, they look about the same under there, but Bumblebee feels heavier to me. You know what? Since I'm helping parents out, let's do the reverse transformation. Pulling that off, just grab here and stretch that out as far as you can. To complete the feet, we're going to separate them and bring the feet out. This transformation is so crazy simple. Now I'm moving that out so that I can get this out of here. Shove the arms down, rotate the head around. Now we can flip this down, bring that up, push this up a little bit right here so that it can have, you know what, I can't do that. Bring these out first. They kind of lock in that position. Now we can flip this around. And now we can put that like that, and he's done. That is such a simple transformation. So they really knew what they were doing for this guy. Bumblebee is a little bit taller than I'd want him to be honest. And here is Red Alert, since I compared them earlier. Yeah, his plastic is definitely way more significant than theirs. And amazingly, the leg transformation is very similar. But I like this figure. The transformation isn't all that difficult. The main problem your kid may have, or you're gonna have, is these spoiler things, fake spoilers falling off, and the fact that it's not painted. But if you are an anal adult, you're gonna notice that it's not painted. If you buy it for your child, they might not care. But anywho, I like this figure. It's very good for what it's supposed to be, and I can recommend it. If I see the link for this, I'll put a link in the description for where you can actually buy it. I found it at Walmart. Anywho, thank y'all for watching this. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. Golly, man. Videos, click the videos, baby, click the videos. You should really click these videos, click the videos, click those videos, baby, click the videos. You really should click those big